This concludes the main part of this exercise. The last thing we will use this exercise for is to illustrate what you have to do and how you have to work if you want to change the geometry in atoms. Suppose you want to use a longer length of the rod. You have to realize that in atoms there's a lot of objects defining this end of the rod. All the markers here actually have their own unique task in the model. You can see it from the link here. If you look at the link, it is using, or it's actually referring to markers, and those two markers are actually endpoints of that link. So in the end, at this location we will have one joint, two links, and therefore we already need a lot of markers to define this point. If I would then move an object, for instance this link, or let's say I would move one marker being the marker of that link, what happens then is that you only see that link move. You will not see the rest of the objects move here. For that we will need something else, which is actually called in atoms parameterization. What we have to do is we have to glue all the objects over here together and move them in one action. This can be done by applying an object which is called a point object. A point object is like a marker, but it's actually defined with the sole purpose of parameterization. And if I define a point here and I attach everything to that point, I can just define the point in this location. Now everything is glued to this point. The point is also selected, so if I now move this point to a new position, everything at that location of the model will move along. So this is what could be called the first step in model parameterization in atoms.